All right, so it hasn't been that long. I had to stop recording last night because it was so goddamn windy that it was literally pulling the roof off my apartment. Well, I mean, like, not really. I still got a fucking roof, obviously, but it was like, have you ever seen in the horror movies where it's like a stormy night? Man, because it's winter at the time of this recording, and my god, my fucking god, it's dark outside. It's windy as fuck. Shit, you can hear the walls are like rattling and creaking, but not anymore. So I had to stop recording. I had to wait a whole day just sitting there waiting for the wind to stop because it was like bang, 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 bang. It's terrible. Anyway, all that aside, now we're clear. Now the audio should be mostly clear thanks to my beautiful microphone here. And we are good to continue the next issue of Godzilla, King of Monsters from Toho Productions' famed movie series. Yes, okay, so War of the Giants. If you remember at the end of the previous issue, there was a teaser for a monster named Batragon, which I mused was a mixture between a bat and a dragon. Well, here it is. What do you guys think? Look at this fucking thing. Obviously, Godzilla's the fucking green one, but look at it. I like the juxtaposition between those because green and orange clash, so I like that they're colored that way. But look, he's basically a dragon, and he's got like bat wings, and you can't see it, but he has like kind of the head of a bat. Here, let me show you. And they're fighting on top of a fucking ocean liner. The coming of Batragon. Okay. Eons pass, a monstrous hybrid of land and marine reptiles was sealed into a state of suspended animation. Slumbering through the fall of dinosaurs and the rise of man, but awakened by an undersea nuclear test, the creature returned to life, now breathing the fires of radiation. Stan Lee presents, as always, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And look, there it is. And you can see more clearly now he does have like a bat's head. So I don't know. Hopefully we get some kind of origin as to what exactly this thing is. Because, I mean, we have the origin of Godzilla. It was all those nuclear radiation tests mutated him so that he became gigantic, ginormous. So maybe we get something like, a Komodo dragon mixed with a bat, birthed in the stomach of a nuclear bomb or some shit. That might be cool. It's strange how disasters happen. For instance, 1 minute, a crew of Liberian tanker... The crew of a Liberian tanker is discussing oil spills and bad publicity. And the next minute, they're scrambling for their very lives and sanity, unable to believe why. Godzilla versus Batragon. Dude, that thing is fucking monstrous. Look, why is it... Look, this is like huge. It's like they foreshortened this this leg. Is that a leg or an arm? It's gotta be... No, that's its leg. They foreshortened its leg. But maybe just a little too much? Yeah, something's weird there. The creature is called Batragon, a great winged grotesquerie of life. Lord, did you see? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, look at that fucking thing. Tearing apart. What is that? Is that a yacht or an ocean liner? And for some reason it has decided, quite deliberately, to attack and cripple the tanker. Plying the North Pacific on a routine cruise towards Canada, there was nothing special about this particular ship. Nothing except for its cargo of oil. And the cargo spills. So what, is he attracted to the oil? Is that why you're emphasizing that? Is Batragon have anything to do with oil? Is there a connection there? Keep that in mind. We're going to see right now. Perhaps it is the shadow of the slick or the scent of the oil which brings a second monster to the surface. Perhaps it is a recognition of the human plight or some other demonstration of intelligence. Yes, because remember, as established in the last issue, Godzilla seems almost humanly intelligent. Boom! Yeah, get his ass! Which causes the second monster to attack the first. Fuck yeah, we're getting straight into the fight. Then again, perhaps the cause is nothing more than sheer rage and brute aggression. There is no way yet to know. to be certain. For the second monster is Godzilla, and where Godzilla is concerned, many things remain unknown, uncertain. But whatever the reasons for this savage spectacle of strife, this reality of enormous behemoths locked in screaming frenzy, it is nothing less than incredible. Yeah, it really is. This is fucking awesome. Indeed, few people in this world witnessing the sight of their own eyes would believe it, and even those would harbor serious doubts. The rest of the world would hardly blame them. Abruptly, Batragon rips free of Godzilla's claws, unwilling to be pulled down below the surface. For unlike Godzilla, the winged monster is not amphibious. It is the air, not the water, which is its second element. Okay, that's cool. So Godzilla is all about the ocean, which is true. That's a part of the character. It always has been since the beginning. And Batragon is like a Godzilla of the air. Okay, cool. I like what they're cooking up. I'm liking this intro. So far, we're doing something interesting. Yet Batragon is hurt. One of his wings hanging into shredded tatters. And so he takes to the air in climbing flight. For reasons entirely his own, Godzilla pursues. Maybe he's hungry. Maybe Godzilla wants to eat him. Disappearing into the distance moments before a second tanker arrives on the scene of the wreck. Tell ya, I don't like it. That scooey Batragon is too unpredictable. What is that? Is that no, that's too small to be the helicarrier. Half the oil's already spilled. Yeah, but try telling that to the Demonicus. Yeah, who's Demonicus? Wait, is that Hydra? Those gotta be Hydra, right? They look like Hydra. He puts a lot of stock in that Batragon freak and his other creations too. Now come on, let's try to salvage as much of this oil as we can, or our operations will be as much a slave to the Arabs as General Motors. Yeah, but if Demonicus pulls it off, we'll be sharing a lot bigger dividends. And so, in an outrageous act of petroleum piracy on the high seas, the bizarre crew of the speed tanker begins siphoning liquid black gold. Oh my god, that's fucking brilliant. So, hold on. Well, let's backtrack just a little bit. Demonicus. Okay, so they go off. Godzilla goes off to chase Batragon. But remember, Batragon destroyed the tanker. It turns out it's an oil tanker. Okay, so he destroys the tanker. Godzilla intervenes. Batragon flies off and Godzilla follows. Then this ship shows up. And there's somebody in charge named Demonicus. And look, he says this. He puts a lot of stock in that Batragon freak and his other creations too. So if I'm reading that correctly, Demonicus created Batragon so that he could destroy the oil tankers, so that these guys, who are presumably his henchmen, can come and steal all the oil? For what? For money? I don't know. Let's see. Elsewhere, over the North Atlantic, a fleet of SHIELD helicopters searches the azure waves for an impossibility. Dragonfly 1 to fleet. Fan out, you lousy yahoos, and give me a blast on the horn the minute you see anything that looks like a big green head popping out of the water. Over and out. I tell you, Gabe, I feel like a sardine stuffed in a straitjacket being stuck in this cramped chopper. I wish they'd hurry up with that new helicarrier. And while I'm on a wishing jag, I hope we spot that overgrown Gila monster soon, so as we can blow him away and get back to normal work. That's not gonna happen, dude. We still got like 20 more issues of this. He's gonna be around for a while. Blow him away, dum-dum. Is that your only solution for something like Godzilla? You're going soft again, Gabe. Forgetting Godzilla attacked that Alaskan oil field, almost destroyed Seattle, took apart the Golden Gate Bridge, crippled our blasted helicarrier, and stomped most of Japan before he started giving us headaches. He's a blasted monster. Yeah, but what makes a monster? If everyone started popping guns and bombs whenever I showed my face, I'd probably want to chop down a few bridges and mountains myself. Look, Jones, you want to play social worker? Go play in Watts or Harlem. Our assignment is to stop that monster, and when the time comes to carry out that assignment, if you ain't right at my side, man in the big guns, don't threaten me, dum-dum. We've been through too much together for it to work. I've seen too many sides of you, and just about every one of them conceals out any threat you can make. All I'm asking is that we cool out, stand by on alert in case he does pose any danger instead of hounding him, maybe provoking him into being something he doesn't want to be. Meaning what, Mr. Jones? Meaning maybe the 3 Japanese were right. Just because they made life hell for us so-called Howling Commandos 30 years ago doesn't mean they're the enemy now. Maybe they have got a better answer. Tell you what, Gabe, these choppers stay on patrol, but I'll check with Wu at Stark's joint and see what kind of progress Takaguchi's making. Yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know about this weapon, this Godzilla bomb that they're creating. This Star Wars movie is really fun, Tamara. Well, I am going to be extremely busy with Dr. Takaguchi tonight, but Mr. Wu, phone call for you from Dum Dum Dugan. Good. Just so that you guys know, we will be doing the Marvel Star Wars series. I have it in pre-production right now. We're doing, because the first 6 issues, I should just let you guys know now, the first 6 issues are a recreation of Star Wars A New Hope. So I'm skipping the first 6. I'm going to start with number 7, and then it's going to go all the way to issue 45. So it's going to be the longest read-along series I've done yet, but it is filled with wonderful Star Wars schlock. Like, it's very, you'll see. It's back when Star Wars was more open and free, when they were more liberal about their stories, you know? You could just get the craziest, coolest stuff in there. Just stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a hoot. Yes, this is Jimmy Woo. That you, dum-dum? What's up? I see you do not approve of the Chinese-American flirting with Tamara, grandfather. Eh? What makes you say that, Robert? You control your tongue well, but your eyes tell your own story. Construction's well underway, dum-dum, and Tony Stark is cooperating fully. He seems to be quite impressed by Takaguchi's blueprints, convinced the thing will work, and might even prove to be a match for Godzilla. Where are they? What is this? Arctic? Is that snow? Look at all that. Wait a minute. I just had an idea. Wait, hold on. Go back. Go back. Pause. Zoom. Enhance. Well, they're working on it back there. It doesn't look like it's a bomb, though. Okay, so at some point in this series, I heard a rumor, because I'm also doing Shogun Warriors. It's on the back burner. It's one of the series that's currently I'm working on right now. I'm doing Shogun Warriors. And I heard there's a crossover where Shogun Warriors crosses over with Godzilla. And it's supposed to be in this series. He fights one of the Shogun Warriors. I bet that's what they're doing. The Japanese have come over to build one of the Shogun Warriors, and at some point Godzilla's going to square off with him. I would place a bet. Because the Warriors of Light built the Shogun Warriors. I don't know. I'd be very interested to see what happens. But I'm going to place a bet now. You guys can make fun of me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking that a Shogun Warrior is going to fight Godzilla. That's what they're working on. Anyway. The pursuit has led to the icy shores of an island in the Aleutian chain. And now, across snow-covered wastes, Godzilla continues stalking the injured Batragon. As the winged creature, soon to be lost to Godzilla's sight, spirals down towards the mountain of a long-dormant volcano. Is he falling? His ring was injured, so he might be falling. He might actually be on the death path right now. Inside the hollow mountain, a scene worthy of dementia. A glowing meteorite embedded into the floor of the volcano, hosting still other gigantic creatures spawned in Nightmare. Oh shit! Look, there's more giant monsters down there. What are they? Above them, jutting from the side of the volcano's inner wall, a futuristic command center, from which emanates a spiderwebbed force field. It's a crackling grid of energy bars. Bars forming the ceiling of a cage, and a cage containing by far the strangest menagerie on Earth. Okay, so what is it? Is that like a... Look down here, is that like a plant creature? A crow? What is that? Okay, that's a fly. Obviously, a giant fly, which, like, ugh, gross. I can't think of anything worse. And then some kind of snake deal down here. And then there's, of course, Batragon. Is this like our legion of supervillains for Godzilla? We've got the strangest menagerie on Earth. That's crazy. So that's obviously, these are obviously the creations of Demonicus, and that is fucking cool. He's got them locked inside of a volcano, because that's the only place on Earth strong enough to keep them. And there he is. That's got to be the man. But the dementia does not stop there, for within the command center itself, men garbed like the skeletons of demons gather around the bizarre Dr. Demonicus. It's Batragon, and he's injured. Cut off the upper force field so he can return to the Life Stone. The Life Stone? Okay. Alright, I'm in it. I'm in it. Explain to me what this Life Stone is. Come on. And as the crackling grid disappears, Batragon wafts down to join the fellow creatures. Well, at least he's come back to roost on the meteor, sir. Yes, my creations are dependent on the Life Stone. They must come back to it. But now we can only hope that the Life Stone's radiation will heal him. But what could have caused the injury? It appears to be a burn. Yeah, dude, Godzilla blew off his fucking wing with radiation breath. And are those fools who were charged with salvaging the oil? Perhaps they saw what happened to Batragon. They just radioed in, sir. They'll be docking on the island's south shore in a few minutes. They got the oil, but they didn't mention any trouble. Those idiots wouldn't mention a bomb if it exploded inside of their skulls. I better go meet them at the docks. And Dr. Demonicus exits. I like this dude. I like it. He's supervillain. He's a fucking supervillain. Oh, man. This is starting to feel a lot like Shogun Warriors. It is. I'm liking it. I'm liking the kaiju stuff. It's like superheroes, but it's just different enough to be fresh. On the inland side of the dormant volcano, in the midst of a once peaceful Eskimo village. No, you idiots, you gotta smelt that meteorite ore down completely. The craft has gotta be made out of 100% meteor metal, so the doctor can transport his creations wherever he wants without them needing to return here to roost. His monsters are no good to him if they have to return to this cruddy island every few hours. So smelt those meteor chunks down completely. Half my people are forced to catch fish and kill seals to feed his monsters until there's no food left for our needs. And the other half of us, starving, are forced to work here building your giant boat. Some of my men have already grown sick of the glow of these rocks. It must stop. Look, soon's you finish the craft, and soon's you get enough oil to power it, we'll be gone. So before all of you die from radiation sickness, just hurry up, because if you don't, Demonicus will send another giant rock from the sky to squash your whole... Enough! We're not that stupid. Indeed, they probably never believed my gods from the heavens story. No, we must threaten them in the way they will understand. Like this. Either you supply my creations with sufficient food, or I'll set them free to eat whatever is available. Yeah, that's a pretty good threat. Such as your wives and daughters. No, it must stop now. Okay, so it's a meteor from space that emits radiation. And that's what's causing the monster's growth. I think. I don't know for sure. Several of the Eskimos, perhaps already tainted with radiation fever, rise up, only to fall in one terrible instant, forever. Good work, demons. As far as the rest of the Eskimos, I trust they now have further incentive to get on with their work. If not, well, I'll be at the south docking point. Godzilla has seen it all, the entire scene of callous slaughter, and turns away now from the trail of Batragon, with a new objective in mind. You see, he's smart. He knows. He's the protector of humanity, goddammit. And Wu also said, Dragonfly 6-1, oil spill and wrecked tanker. Not far from your location, Liberian, registered to American owner. Could be just another foul up, then again it could have been. Yeah, Godzilla. You consider this poison enough danger for you, Gabe? Don't rub it in, dum-dum. I'm already heading for the wreck. Godzilla reaches his new objective, with all the force of a cyclone gone wild. That's a beautiful picture. Take a moment to appreciate this. With all the force of a cyclone gone wild. What the? That ain't one of Demonicus's creations. No, it's Godzilla, ain't it? Yeah. Crush everybody, including the fucking Eskimos, apparently. Indeed. And if at first his attacks seem indiscriminate, a berserk monster lashing out at everything in his path, crushing slave and master alike. Excuse me. It soon becomes clear that Godzilla's wrath is focused solely on the distinctly garbed demon soldiers. Whatever it is, we can kill it! No, you can't. You ain't killing shit. And as the radioactive firestorm blasts from the monster's gaping jaws, destroying the slave master's meteorite foundry, the act, if deliberate, might even be judged symbolic. How? How so? Explain, please. The explosion is heard all the way to the island's south docking point, where Dr. Demonicus spins an alarm. What was that? Wait, so that's his whole radioactive ship. The idea behind the radioactive ship is that his monsters feed on radiation, so they needed the radioactive ship to be able to move around. It must have been the Eskimos again. Another uprising. But if they manage to sabotage the smelting foundry, I'll feed them all to my creations. And even at sea, evidence of explosion cannot be mistaken. What in blazes is out there, Gabe? As far as I know, dum-dum, nothing but one of the Aleutian Islands. Yeah, well, let's check it out. Good plan. Cause I'd bet at my last stogie that no Eskimos caused that. Godzilla, but what's he doing here? Yeah, he's here to fucking crush you. The attack ends as Demonicus races onto the scene. Sir, he just came out of the blue. Apparently satisfied with his assault on the demon soldiers, Godzilla resumes his original objective, the search for Batragon. He's climbing up the mountain towards the mouth of the Lifestone Cage. The Lifestone Cage. Okay, that's what it is. Is he gonna let out the other monsters? If he should see my creations, I've got to stop him. And when Demonicus bursts into the command complex, Sir, there's a fucking Godzilla outside. Yes, I know, you fool. He's reached to the top. And at the top, Godzilla bellows with rage. It was obviously Godzilla who caused Batragon's injury. Oh, it's like a... Okay, we see him now. Yeah, it's a fly and Batragon, and then that's some kind of pterodactyl creature. But having returned to the glowing surface of the meteor, Batragon's strength has been renewed, and the hideous creature responds to Godzilla's roar in kind, angered, and ferocious. It is ready for another fight. Keep the force field on. Don't let Batragon out. I don't want to endanger him in a fight with Godzilla. And the force field grid will keep Godzilla out of the Lifestone Cage. Perhaps, but Batragon is spoiling for a fight. I don't know why, man. You got your ass kicked last time. And Godzilla doesn't help matters by taunting the winged creature, goading it, until Batragon abandons all restraint and soars upwards, straight through the crackling grid of energy. No, it's impossible. He cannot penetrate the force field. The shock might kill him, does it? Indeed, for a moment, Batragon is snared in a web of jolting energy, blitzed by the fury of unimaginable power. But then, incredibly, the creature rips free, and far from killing it, the jolt has merely driven Batragon even more berserk. It flies straight into Godzilla's face, toppling the huge Leviathan off balance, but not before Godzilla locks his opponent in an unbreakable grasp. Yeah, now it's a fight. Look at that. Straight down the fucking mountain. Talk about road rash. That probably took some fucking skin off. Look at that. Thus together, the two monstrosities tumble down the outer side of the mountain to land with earth-shaking impact in the midst of an enslaved Eskimo village. Godzilla instantly assumes the advantage. He has covered a great distance to reach this moment, and in a burst of savage frenzy, he makes the most of it. Revenge is swift, total, and all-consuming. Boom! Fuck, is that blood coming out of his mouth? Look at that. And triumph is a thunderous roar hurled to the heavens. But is it really over yet? Other monsters just like Batragon. Please, God, yes, please. There were other creatures. Yes, there were. The big greenie all right behind the whole mess? Yes. Why did it say yes there? This slams the door on the last of your sympathy for the monster act, Gabe. But I don't care how much I'm rubbing it in. lift the chopper over that mountain and see what he's after. What the? It's some kind of futuristic complex down there. Must be a secret installation, an SAC base or something. And Godzilla's attacking it! But unlike Godzilla, the SHIELD agents cannot see the other monsters below. They see only one monster and waste little time in dealing with him. Alright, dragonflies, I want that overgrown lizard stopped, and stopped fast before he stomps the base. As for Godzilla, he knows only that he is being attacked by more flying things. Perhaps more things like Batragon, but in any event, things he must fight to the death. Thus do both men and monster occasionally jump to the wrong conclusions. This time, providing the insidious Dr. Demonicus with a fiendish scheme. I've got to cut the force field and... No, wait. Why not let Godzilla and the helicopters fight each other? Yes. Play these two off against each other, and then I can release my other creations to destroy the exhausted victors. Thank God. I was scared. I tell ya, I was scared that we were going to go through this entire story without seeing an up-close look at these other monsters, but I was mistaken, because in the next issue, the explosive conclusion, Isle of the Lost, monsters. Mwah. So that was good. Too bad about Batragon, though. One of them is dead. One of them fucking died. And I don't know, I wonder if Batragon was the deadliest of them all. I doubt it. He went down fast. As the story presents it, he is clearly weaker than Godzilla. Batragon never had the upper hand. He got two really good hits. He got that, like, swipe at Godzilla, and then he pushed him off the mountain. Those were his two good hits. Then after that, Godzilla was pissed, took his ass straight out. Dead. Murdered him like a fucking gutted pig. But that's it for Batragon. He's done for. But I am loving this. The supervillain creating kaiju using a radioactive meteorite from space. This, oh man. I wish I could articulate into words why I think this is so fucking cool. It's just like one of those schlocky Silver Age Godzilla movies, you know? This is exactly what it would be like. I love it. I love it. And I hope you guys love it too, because we're going to keep going all the way till the end. But for now, that's the end of this one. If you liked reading this comic with me and you want to read more comics with me, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and donate to my website, heroicstudios.org. But until next time, nerds, stay heroic.